Is it going? There we go. So this is a Minotaur. It's not a Minotaur, it's a Minotaur because it's got smoke. And this is Espere 312's game. So he sent this one in looking for some feedback. Loop. Carriers on each team. Of course, you've got really good anti-air in the ship. And you only have one battleship to deal with, 3 Minotaurs, 2 Stalingrads. So in reality, you've got like 3 battleships to deal with. Viper! What's up, Viper? I'm doing fine, thanks. I hope you're having fun. Kidding when you get a chance to do the thing. Epic Berserker on the battlefield. Nice, Meat Pie Man.
This match is going to be mainly about not dying to Stalingrad.
And that's what I was commenting earlier about them having essentially 3 battleships, right? Because the Stalingrads are kind of like battleships.
Hi, sweetheart.
Stalingrad, in a sense, is worse because her guns still overmatch you, and radar negates your smoke.
Right.
Speaking of which...
Island Cat, yes, it would be very nice for Minnow players. Just by default, you come in and you say, I'm smoke or I'm radar. Because it does help your team have an idea. In ranked battles, I always ask my Minotaur teammates or Neptune teammates or Yu Yang teammates or Chugmu team, you know, are you smoke or radar? Oh look, Minotaur. This is a decent place for cover. They're shooting the Petro. Petro can radar him. I would not shoot here yet. You were spotted earlier, but it's been a while, so they might have forgotten that you exist. So this is a really good opportunity to kind of get up in there. I might hit my Hydro now too. Oh god, with the midway coming in, smoke now, smoke now. Smoke now before you get detected.
Kind of a questionable position, honestly.
Yes, it is. That's why I was saying smoke, because you don't want to be detected.
Like, you know Minotaur can run smoke or hydro. Smoke or radar. You don't want to find out the hard way if one of those Minotaurs have radar.
I mean, there's 3 of them, so there's... The chances are good that at least one of them has radar, right?
Yep, it's a pretty good chance. A lot of Minotaurs run radar, especially ever since Europe posted that radar Minotaur video such a long time ago.
That's right. And then there's, of course, lots of maximum team play Des Moines too, right?
Oh yeah.
What we're talking about there, guys, is a Des Moines that runs spotter plane instead of radar. So you were forced to smoke up, and if, as you can see, you're not getting much out of it. And that's why I said get into B, then smoke, because you'd at least get the cap while you were smoking. Now, that being said...
Even then...
Go ahead.
Even then, that would have been questionable given how many torps have been thrown into the area.
I was just going to mention that too. Right, you would be extremely dependent on your Hydro for detecting everything, essentially.
Since we don't like this position, where do you think he could have gone instead?
Anywhere? I'm kidding. B-cap is tough to play in a ship that is like this because you basically put yourself into cross shots from both sides. So I would have rather seen you go to Charlie or Alpha. You had a middle spawn so you could determine where you go based off of where your team goes. If you're confident in your play, I would say you go for Charlie because that's where your team didn't really go. And if you're not so confident in your play, you go for Alpha because that's where the majority of your team went. What would you say, SAT?
I think I would have liked to see a little bit more, especially if I'm focused more on objective play. So there's 3 destroyers over at C and a Nevsky. Nevsky they oddly enough like to fire HE. And if you help out your small one there and take out 1 or 2 of the destroyers, that would put your team in a very strong position.
Oh yeah, completely agree.
Like, Minotaur tears apart destroyers.
But that's what I was saying, like, if you're confident in your abilities and you know the ship really well, Charlie is a great opportunity because you can just go and kill all the destroyers. But you're at heavy risk for potential Stalingrad Yamato salvos. At least at Alpha, you can hang back and let your team spot while you go and farm at medium to long range. But I agree with you, SAT. Charlie is going to be the more effective place to go in this battle. Yeah, Duckman, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know what that means, really. I just streamed the game. Lol. And Yamato wants you to farm him, so that's good. That's easy.
So far, the smoke has actually been somewhat helpful. The
This
first one was unfortunately wasted because of that spotting, but this one at least you're getting better use out of it.
Yep, I might aim a little bit higher. Because you want to try to get your shells into the superstructure for that AP pen versus shattering on the armor.
The Royal Navy light cruisers get special AP, right?
Yeah, it's got a short fuse.
Short fuse and very good auto bounce angles. I like to think of them as the SAP before the Italians invented SAP.
Yeah, right. And so, to me, that's why I think you want to make sure your shells are getting into that superstructure, because that's very lightly armored stuff that'll, you know, do guaranteed damage, versus the lower part here, which is the torpedo belt or the upper belt armor. Even the deck
What do you
armor
think
might
about the
bounce
bows? What do you think about the bows and sterns as the ship gets closer?
I've seen players do ridiculous things with Minotaur into bows of battleships, but generally speaking, I find that works well if the battleship is really close. Like, I'm saying, like 5 kilometers away, and you've got a really good side shot on their bow. The stern, though, is quite large. It might be a good pick.
Well, speaking about Minotaur countering destroyers.
Yeah, a wild Elming appears. But you gotta be careful.
I would be cautious. Yep. Why? However, why are we careful against the Elbing?
Well, the Elbing, of course, has improved AP pen angles, and it's got very strong AP shells. So a lot of Minotaurs will just sit broadside to get all their guns on an Elbing. Elbing will just bow into them, and then just citadel them. So you gotta be careful with how much of an angle you provide or present to that Elbing. Walter, thank you for the follow.
Walter_Demihoff is now following.
Like, the game looks good, but that's more because of the enemy just kind of throwing their ships away. Like, that Yamato alone gave you about 40-50k free damage.
But look at that, 2 ships dead,
is now following.
including a detonated Kurfürst. Oof. Oof.
Well, we can't have easy victories now, can we?
Nope. New Deslu, thank you for the follow.
Dubayab is now following.
PW, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you guys are having a good time. It's a 4th of July, Murica's birthday, of course. We've got a little bit longer left in our stream. We've got to give our Tone away. Tone is available to any server. So make sure you hit ! ticket to get in for that giveaway. And let's see if this Holland screws this up.
You guys must be present to win, must be following, and you poop, you lose.
That's
Wolfie
right.
Frost 93 is now following.
Wolfie Frost 93, thank you for the follow. Do you see the mistake that the Holland just made? He went two side, and as a result, a bunch of penetrations into him.
Yep. That being said, Holland's in a quite a
23 is now
predicament.
following.
Oh, absolutely.
If he bows into the Minotaur, then Smolensk just farms him. So he was dead regardless of what happened.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if I were that Holland, I probably would have. If my torps were up, I might have tried for a torpedo. It probably wouldn't have, would have failed. But the other option would have been just a YOLO charge the Minotaur, load AP, and just pray.
I just exit the port.
Oh, there you go. Islander, who do we give the presents to win? That would be Sith Kitten. Which, by the way, if you get a chance to send her a follow, please make sure you do.
Out of curiosity, was that a fat finger on the Minotaur heel?
Looked like it. I mean, but at the same time, it's pretty late in the game, and you've got a lot of hit points, so I could actually see choosing to heal there. You know, so that it's up again later.
Not when that. Yeah, that would be fine. Not when you're staring at Nevsky in the face, though.
True.
And the smoke, and I didn't see a point in the smoke. Like
No.
Nevsky is a light cruiser. You can just you should have no problem shooting him. And he was
Yep.
focused on killing the destroyer.
Yep. And just like that, it's tied up 7-on-7 now. Your team that was stronger at A is pretty much no more. Your team at Charlie is no more. Got Smolensk and Charlie, though.
Rory Breaker 0 is now following.
Yep.
Nox23, thanks for the follow. Rory Breaker, thank you for the follow as well.
Like Nevsky's dead, but you need to be careful when engaging him.
Yep.
His AP rounds have improved auto bounce angles, and you don't want to accidentally give up a depth strike.
Oh, like that. Kerensky, yes.
Pretty much.
Looks like you when you drive the Nevsky. Lol.
Like, that was a lot more HP lost than needed. And since
Yep.
your team has decided to go into throw mode, you might need that for later.
That's right. Fortunately, though, you were able to heal a lot of that back. Hello, Prue. Wife's cat is here. Nox, that mod is called, it's a minimap mod by Battleframe, and it's in Aslane's mod pack. So, minimap mod by Battleframe. You have Horrid Luck and Highly Questionable Judgment whenever you get in that ship. Well, there you go. You don't run Aslane. Ah, okay. No worries. I'm not sure if it's in mod pack or not. It could be, it might not be. This might be oof, but fortunately for you, he just went right through a fighter to get to you, and you killed the rest of his planes.
I don't even get why you're sitting a cap. You're already up 2 caps, and you have a sizable point lead. You could just get out of there and start farming.
SAT School of XP Generation. There's no need for that last cap if you're clearly going to win. Let the game play out longer by allowing the cap to tick up for the enemy. That's what you're getting at, right?
Pretty much.
Yes.
Overall, this one kind of feels like the enemy was just giving you free damage. Like, that Yamato never angled at all. You had a few destroyers suicide into you for fun. And that Nevsky, he was both hurt and decided to not surround that island.
You're spending a lot of shovels here, or a lot of shells to miss all of them. So maybe back off a tick on your zoom as well to make sure that you can spectate where your shells are landing so that you can make sure you're actually hitting your target. Meat Pie Man, it's not so much XP increasing with time, is it's that time gives you the opportunity for more XP by doing more damage to enemy ships. So had he not capped Charlie, he could have probably had more time to farm the Stalingrad. But let's be real, he also capped C, so he got some good XP earnings from capping Charlie as well, though, right?
Kinda. Taking caps later in the game doesn't help that much in terms of EXP, but I don't remember all of the calculations for how EXP is generated.